Joining us now to discuss this is Michael Lucci, the founder and CEO of State Armor, an organization dedicated to helping states enact solutions to global security threats. And we have Casey Fleming, chairman and CEO of Black Ops Partners Corporation. He's also the author of the new book, The Red Tsunami. So welcome both. Good to have you on the show, both of you. So when it comes to espionage, we often think of Chinese nationals in the US stealing state secrets. But how common is this kind of activity where an American citizen uses their knowledge or expertise to aid, or in this case, train the Chinese regime? So Michael, I'll go to you first.
Don, they're always trying to compromise American citizens. They're always trying to compromise permanent nationals in the United States. This is one of the most egregious examples where they have a former American general teaching them how to use the most advanced air platforms that we have, presumably for a future war with the United States. That's who they'd be using them against. But we had a more recent conviction of a State Department employee who was passed along classified information. We had a recent conviction of a naval enlisted who was also passing along classified information to help China build its war machine from top to bottom, whether it's the military, our universities, or transnational repression. China seeks to compromise our society throughout, extract the value that they can, and then use that value to harm us in the future.
Okay, so let me go to you now, Casey. Can you talk to us the scope of this specific type of action where an American citizen is helping the Chinese military?
Well, it's not limited just to the military. This is just the case in point for the day. This happens in all sectors of business, government, where everybody's attacked and compromised. This is something that's very serious, of course. This guy, this American, was trained by the American taxpayers using that taxpayer money and intellectual property to go against his own people. So it's first and foremost treason. We need to bring back the very, very strong treason laws that we had in the past of aiding and abetting our enemies. So, FBI Director Christopher Wray and Kash Patel have said for many years that the CCP and China is the single biggest threat to the future of the United States. So these guys are going against their country. They're going against the taxpayers. But the problem is, this is not just a one-off. This is happening just, like drops of water in a bucket.
So, Michael, do you see it that way, that this person went against the country, essentially?
Yes, I agree. It's treason. And we have not executed someone for treason since 1953, when we lost the nuclear secrets to the Soviets. But we should think about bringing that back. We should think about imposing minimum sentences of at least 25 years for passing along military secrets to communist China. There's only one reason that they want these secrets. It's to harm our allies and then ultimately to harm the United States. We need to really reform our legal structures to massively increase all criminal penalties that we would impose on communist China and agents thereof. We have universities passing along military research to China like it's no big deal at all. But it starts at the top. It starts with a case like this, where we have one of the most privileged, general officers in the American military just going right over there and training them on using the most advanced platforms. It's the most kind of egregious case you could have. So this needs to be an exceptional punishment, and we should change laws to make sure that we can advance higher and higher punishments for treason.
So, Casey, how do we deter this? Michael says execution hasn't been used for treason for a long time. Maybe laws need to be changed. How do we prevent this?
Laws must be changed, not just on this piece of it with treason, but also with foreign influence. All these things, they're absolutely eroding our country very, very quickly. We're running out of time. I think that these treason laws, as well as foreign influence laws, should be maximum penalties. I'm thinking minimum 50 years, and something like this should absolutely constitute death in my book. They took an oath to protect our country. Now they're giving away all of our secrets that the taxpayers paid for, and to violate that oath. And this guy went on. He's the tip of the spear. I mean, he's F-35, latest technology. He's weapons deployment, nuclear weapons deployment. He was an instructor pilot and a simulator pilot. So he already is a fantastic instructor because he's been trained by the American taxpayers to do that. So it's you need to set an example. Let me tell you, if he was anywhere else in the world, if he was in China, he would be hung very quickly. He'd be lucky if he got a bullet. So we have to stop messing around as a country. We are in a war today. This is the end stage, which is conventional or kinetic war, but you're already in. We are all in a war today. Every American person is in that war, which is called unrestricted war. Again, conventional war is the last stage of that piece of it. And by the way, this guy did no favors to Taiwan. So they're practicing for Taiwan right now. And after Taiwan, it's the rest of the Indo-Pacific, and then, of course, America as well.
So, Michael, what is the gravity of the situation? Is every American in a war right now?
Communist China is bringing a war to every American. I don't think that every American realizes that that's happening. We have, over 1 million Americans have been killed by fentanyl. That's an intentional operation by Communist China. Those Americans are largely military-age men. China knows that that's what they're doing. They're killing military-age men through chemical warfare on the United States. If we could do one simple idea, abide by one simple principle, it's just stop helping Communist China. They have told us what they want to do. They've told us that they want to knock us off as the leading nation of the world. They want to destroy our alliance structure. And yet we have generals going over there and training them. And it's not just that. I mean, there are billions of dollars coming out of the Pentagon for military research into American universities on hypersonics, on AI for combat operations. And those American universities are partnering with China's military to develop that research. So we're just handing over our military research, whether it's something this extremely direct, like someone being treasonous and traitorous, or it's the universities just leaking our research, or our business is doing the same thing. All of it has to stop. We need to stop helping Communist China.
So, Casey, I'm sure you would agree with that statement that the U.S. should stop helping China. But what does that look like in reality? Does that mean decoupling from China? What does it look like?
Well, I agree with Michael on everything that he said, and it is decoupling from China. China has been decoupling from the United States for several years. They've been placing their economy on a war footing. So we're addicted to the cash with the Chinese economy. Again, it's a communist Chinese economy. And the way it looks like here in the United States, remember, unrestricted war has over 100 different methods to weaken the U.S. from the inside, where we will just capitulate. The final stage, hopefully, from their standpoint, will never enter conventional warfare, where we just give up. We just say we can't take it. We need a grown-up to come in and take us over. What that looks like here today is stop buying Chinese goods and services. Every American votes every day with their wallet. Stop buying Chinese goods and services and stop investing in companies who work with China and do business in China, and start voting people into state, federal, local office that will stop this nonsense, and they will stop this foreign influence. Let me tell you, there's no foreign influence allowed in China. If you get caught giving foreign influence in China, you're put to death. So we need to have the same type of laws over here, because let me tell you, our enemy is pretty darn serious.
Okay, let me just ask one more question to each of you. And Michael, I want to focus on this decoupling idea. How should the U.S. balance this? Because I would imagine there will be at least significant short-term pain for Americans if we entirely decouple trade or anything else with China.
We have to do a rapid decoupling on their mineral bottlenecks, on the bottlenecks of the world economy that China controls. So you're seeing that start to happen on rare earths. We need to do the same thing on pharmaceuticals. And as that especially rapid decoupling is occurring on those specific things, there needs to be a broader decoupling, which actually is occurring. Chinese imports in the United States continue to drop as a share of our total imports. But this is a really important point, and it deals with what President Trump is doing globally. We also need to cut off the transshipment, which is when China sends something to Vietnam and then it comes here. And that's going into some of these trade deals. That's exceptionally important. So it's not just that we stop having imports from China. we need to block our friends, allies, and other trading partners from passing that through to us.
Okay, Casey, final thoughts.
100% agree. It starts with the people. Our government got us into this place, okay? China and by the way, there's one China. It's completely controlled by communist China and the communist CCP. And our government has got us into this place here with the American people being so far weakened now. So the American people have to take their country back. And I'm saying peacefully, but to do that by voting with your wallets and voting people in. But our government has aided and abetted the Chinese communists to their position of power right now. The Indo-Pacific is now almost 50% of the world GDP. That is very, very significant. And all we're doing is funding our own enemy. Every dollar spent on the Chinese communists is every dollar spent killing our children. And Michael even said that. One perfect example is fentanyl, but there are many other different types of drug warfare. So it's time for us to get serious, the American people to get serious. That's one of the reasons I wrote the book, because it's written to the American people on how they can understand what's going on and take action.
All right, great point there, that if you don't vote with your wallet, you're essentially paying for your own demise. So great comments from both of you. Let's end it there for today. Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you.